My name is Karni Wolf. I work as a software developer at Sneak, where we develop tools to help developers find and fix vulnerabilities in their applications and container images. This is me at DockerCon, and it took me 3 days to find out there was a selfie spot, the only spot in the hall where you can catch both whales in one shot. Container technology is becoming increasingly popular and is expected to grow by 40% in 2020. Docker reports over 1 billion weekly downloads. Along with the popularity of the technology, there is an increasing trend of vulnerabilities being reported in Linux OS packages, affecting the most popular Linux distributions. In 2018 alone, we tracked nearly 1,600 known vulnerabilities, which makes it all more important for us to use this popular technology in the secure way as possible. So let's discuss some best practices we can use for Docker image security. The first, prefer minimal base images. So less dependencies, less vulnerabilities. Here's a clear example to demonstrate that. This is the number of vulnerabilities found in Node 10 base image versus Node 10 Slim. Next, use least privileged user. Without specifying the user in your Docker file, the default is the root user. By specifying the user, like in the example, you can set the least privileged user needed. 3, enable two-factor authentication in your container registry account. Just a few months ago, Docker Hub suffered a data breach, affecting approximately 190,000 users, having their sensitive information stolen, including usernames and passwords. Imagine how horrible it would be. This is the scream emoji that lost its color. It's even scarier. So imagine how horrible it would be for a hacker to steal your credentials, push a malicious image to your container registry, only to have you pull it and run it on your cluster. Just by enabling the simple step of two-factor authentication, you can prevent this from happening. 4, sign and verify images. You should opt to use trusted content and signed images when possible. Docker Notary is a tool used for both publishers to sign their image and publish trusted content, and for users, consumers, to verify the origin and integrity of their images used. You can enable Docker Content Trust to play around with it. Enable this, try to pull an unsigned image, and you'll see it'll fail. 5, rebuild images often. Many times, vulnerabilities are resolved simply by pulling and rebuilding your image. Here's a good example. Take, for example, the package libcurl version 7.64. This is the Debian package repository, the Docker Hub official Debian repo, and your custom image based on Debian 9. They all have the same version. One day, a vulnerability is discovered. I'm glad it kept its color. It's affecting all three versions of the package. The next day, a vulnerability fix is implemented. Debian package repository releases a new version with a fixed secure package. And the next step is for Docker Hub to update the image with the new package. But you're still stuck with a vulnerable package because you're based on the older version of Debian 9. By simply pulling the newer image of Debian 9 and rebuilding your image, you're good to go. So to wrap up some of the best practices, choose the right base image, rebuild images often, use least privileged user, enable two-factor authentication, and on your container registry, and use trusted images. Thanks for listening.